And welcome to the second semi-final in the under-15 National Championship semi-finals between North Harbour and Canterbury. And this will be a really close game as these teams have had some games during the tournament. Canterbury played Waitakere in their pool and won that game by 2 and managed to win in their quarter-final, and they're through to the semi-final. Harbour's back, and they were in the finals last year, and they'll be looking to repeat and make it a rematch and join Waikato girls in the final. We see for North Harbour starting lineup of number 25 Jazz Kalahifohulu, number 15 Zalia Kalahifohulu, number 12 Jessica Moores, number 5 Mackenzie Belcher, and number 11 Emmy Shearer. See, starting the game for Canterbury, we have number 11 Mia Abercrombie, number 7 Scylla Morris, number 9 Malia Nanai, number 12 Georgia Knowles, and just a bit of a delay to start the game as we sort out the live stats. Coaches of the North Harbour team. We have Claire McCurran, who wasn't able to make it down to Nationals, but congratulations on the birth of your first child. And Millie Nathan has stepped up to be head coach, and Matt Lacey is the assistant coach for the North Harbour under-15 girls side. For Canterbury, their head coach Anita Peckham and assistant coach Bobby Morris. And so those coaches are going to have to talk to their players again as the score bench sorts out the live stats. I can see around me there's also another games around this tournament, as we have 6 courts going right now in the Wellington ASB Stadium. And Wellington Basketball Association doing a great job hosting this tournament, and we've got a sizable crowd behind me facing the court and some crowd on the sideline there for this game. In the last semi-final, we saw a lot of dominant bigs. Dominic Stevens, Emily Poole, Raquel Sampson. Another one in this game for North Harbour, Jazz Kalahifohulu. But a lot of guards, a lot of great guards here for both this team. As we see one of them, Westlake Girls High product, Emmy Shearer. Really athletic, really fast, gets a layup to start the game, but just rims out, unfortunately. As we see number 9, Malia Nanai, set up the Canterbury offense. Knowles with a long 3 to start the game, and Mackenzie Belcher gets that rebound and she's off. Errant pass from her, and probably need better court vision for the Harbour player, and a great spin move there from Canterbury, and they'll go to the line for 2. And it's a quick foul for Harbour. Number 11, Emmy Shearer, to start the game on a foul. And Scylla Morris will go to the line for 2. And she sinks both. And she's one of Waikato's top players. Great guard. And Canterbury open the scoring 2-0 up. Emmy Shearer. Again, a really hard drive into the key. Canterbury perhaps unlucky, but Emmy Shearer rewarded for a really, really hard drive there. And she'll go to the line for 2 shots. And she hits the first one. Here comes the second shot. And Shearer hits the second one. And that'll be an interesting battle with the guards of Harbour. Number 11, Emmy Shearer. Number 12, Jess Moores, up against the guards of Canterbury. Number 7, Scylla Morris, and number 9, Malia Nanai. Canterbury really lacking an inside presence to start the game, as we see Harbour's inside presence. Jazz Kalahifohulu grab a rebound, and Harbour's out in transition, and that's North Harbour's game. They want to run. Their athletic guards, Jess Moores and Emmy Shearer, are really going to get out on that fast break, and before you know it, they'll be laying the ball in the hoop down the other end. And that's exactly what happened there as Moores gets a layup, puts Harbour up 4-2. Canterbury having some trouble initiating their offense as they get the ball inside to Godinez, and we see a three there from Morris. Rims out. She gets her own offensive rebound, and an uncharacteristic miss at the rim for her. And we get it to Emmy Shearer, and Harbour again out in transition. And Emmy Shearer driving hard to the hoop. Unfortunately misses that, but gets fouled and almost puts it back in. And she misses that free throw there. But early entry on it, so she'll get to take that again. And that'll be a big difference in this game. I mean, Canterbury's very guard driven, and if Harbour's guards are able to beat them in transition like this all the time, Canterbury could be facing a very long game. Harbour up 6-2 right now. So Godinez back to Nanai. That's a really nice step through move from Nanai, and one. And a foul call there. Who's that on? And that foul's on number 11, Emmy Shearer for Harbour. 2 minutes in, she's on 2 fouls, and that's crucial. Harbour have some real superstar players. As I mentioned before, guards Moores and Shearer. But with Shearer sitting down on the bench now, and she'll be there for a while on 2 fouls with 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Canterbury will be thanking their lucky stars now. One of Harbour's superstar players off. And again, Jess Moores in transition, easy as you like. Another layup. And Canterbury's really going to have to do something to stop that. Harbour's just come out, just driven hard in transition, either got a layup or got free throws. Canterbury's playing in the half court a lot, Nanai initiating their offense, but they're really taking a long time to initiate their offense and probably want a better shot out of their offense than that from Godinez. And a foul's been called there, and that's on 25, Jazz Kalahi-Fulu. And so she's out there on 1 foul right now. If she gets her second foul, Harbour could be in trouble. Now, we just saw the dominant performance of Dominic Stevens, the Waikato big, with 18 points, 20 rebounds in the first semi-final. But if anything, Harbour's big Jazz Kalahi-Fulu has been really well regarded throughout this tournament as one of the best bigs in this entire tournament. And to have her and Shearer sit down early, Harbour could be in trouble. Right now, though, it's Harbour 9, Canterbury 5. Harbour's into their half-court offense now, and they're looking comfortable in their half-court offense. And they get it down low to Zalia Kalahi-Fulu. Step-through move, nice left-hand move from her, and she lays it in. And right now, Canterbury really haven't found an answer for Harbour offensively. Not even just 3 minutes in right now. Harbour with 11 points. High-octane offense. And they're in transition. Oh, tough pass from Jess Moores there. Probably need better decision making, but you can really see their intention to get out and run, and a huge and one play there from Scylla Morris. What a great move, and she was hit, falling to the ground, and still threw it back up with touch. And that is really rare to see at the under-15 girls level. And these Canterbury star guards of Malia Nanai and Scylla Morris really are going to have to carry Canterbury, because right now they haven't had an answer for Harbour's bigs or Harbour's guards in transition. Moores with the ball now. Canterbury do a good job slowing her down, and they're in their half-court offense. Cross-court pass, and we see Simone Barnard has entered the game, number 4 for Harbour. Tough drive from her into 2 players. She hustles and gets the ball back again. And that's Harbour just dominating the O boards right now, and no matter who you're playing, you know, Canterbury just gave up 4 opportunities to Harbour to try and score the ball, and eventually Moores had the ball in the hoop. And 12-9, this is a very high scoring game so far. Scylla Morris on a drive. Perhaps a bit of contact, not a call though. The ball did not hit the rim, so there's 5 seconds left on the shot clock right now. Canterbury's ball on the sideline. See Nanai inbound to Morris. 2, 1. Not sure if she was aware about the shot clock, but she did get a shot up. And Boucher with that defensive rebound. So Canterbury doing a better job now, slowing them down, making them play in the half court. Harbour look to initiate their offense. Boucher for 3. And there you go. Canterbury needs that. Canterbury needs players like Mia Abercrombie, number 11, to be getting defensive rebounds. And that's sort of Harbour's strength right now. They're going to get out and run in transition. When they're in the half court, they're going to be comfortable putting shots up, and they're going to crash the boards hard. Right now, there's an early timeout. Now 5 minutes 42 left in the first quarter. Both teams look to settle a little bit. 12-9 after a fast start. Both teams now felt each other out, and Canterbury really looking to stop the transition. It'll be interesting to see what coach Anita Peckham is going to give Canterbury here. And Canterbury's inbounding the ball now, and they'll get it into Nanai to initiate their half-court offense. Bit more movement in Canterbury's offense right now than we saw earlier. They're still having trouble just finding that open player, and we see 2 passes along the perimeter and a 3. They're probably going to want to look to get better offense than that, get the ball inside a little bit. Inside presence isn't their strength, but they've still got to get the ball into that key a little bit. And perhaps Coach Peckham's noticed that, and straight away she's turned to her bench and said to Olivia McIntyre, number 15, get in there, we need you to rebound the ball, we need to get an inside presence, we need better flow in our offense. As we see a foul there on Canterbury, number 11, Mia Abercrombie. And she'll come out now for McIntyre. Hopefully McIntyre can provide more of an inside presence for them, combat Kalahi Fulu. Harbour having trouble getting it in right now, but Kalahi Fulu ends up getting it to Moores. Drives on 2 plays, gets a nice pass to Zalia Kalahi Fulu. Perhaps a rough call. And an offensive pushing foul there on Zalia Kalahi Fulu as she tries to get through the defense. Tough call, but that's the way it goes. Harbour already in the bonus at this stage in the quarter. Jess Moores, great defense on Nanai just then. A lot of help, and unfortunately she undoes her good work with some reaching there. She just needs to move her feet and get in front. Swarming help defense from Harbour though, and Canterbury going to have to look to take advantage of that. As we see Jess Moores come out of the game now. So right now Harbour have Jess Moores, number 12, and Emmy Shearer, number 11, sitting down on the bench. We see Belcher initiate their offense to Barnard. Zalia Kalahifulu trouble corralling the ball there. Back to Belcher, and they look to get it inside to their post presence, Jazz Kalahifulu. Unfortunately, Harbour's pass is just not quite where they need to be in this offense. We see number 13, Sontaine Noom Duckworth, into the game for the first time. Harbour applying a little bit of extended pressure, but it's very easily dealt with by Canterbury. And again, Nanai will come up to initiate their offense, and she drives on Noom Duckworth. Very easy. It's a very easy score for Canterbury, and Harbour's going to need to make sure that doesn't happen again. And they get it over halfway. It's in the hands of Zalia Kalahifulu right now. And she passes to her older sister, Jazz. A tussle on the ground. Back out to Belcher with the mid-range jump shot. And there it is. They'll take whatever shots they want, and they will pound the offensive boards all game long. And we see Zalia Kalahifulu with an easy layup off an offensive rebound. That's a great shot there from number 12, Georgia Knowles. Mid-range shot to answer back. Gives Canterbury the lead back, 15-14. Belcher, potentially risky pass to Barnard. And Barnard, I mean, Harbour need to throw some better passes than this right now. And messy play from both teams. Passing being a huge theme here. The team who protects the ball better will be the team that manages to get the advantage early, you would think, as Barnard really not playing great defense there, just needs to get in front rather than riding the girl on the hip, and that's not a smart foul because Harbour's in the bonus, and so Canterbury will go from halfway all the way to the free throw line with an opportunity for Sella Morris to get 2 points. And we see her make those free throws there, so it's now 17-14, Canterbury with the advantage. Belcher coming up the court, and we saw a really fast start from Harbour with their superstar guards, Moores and Shearer, in transition, but we haven't seen any transition since those two have been forced to the bench with foul trouble. And Harbour in their half-court offense in the last few minutes have looked really uncomfortable. A lot of poor passing decisions being thrown, and that's really they're really gonna suffer for that. After their fast start, they've really been in a bit of a scoring drought. And Sella Morris, nice patient up fake, drives into the key. Unfortunately for her, uncharacteristic miss. And we see some more players entering the game there. We see number 6, Watene, coming into the game for Harbour. And we see number 9, Maliananai, still out there. Sella Morris still out there for Canterbury. Isabel Orr has entered the game for Canterbury. And a foul there, unlucky, but you can't be unhappy with that if you're Anita Peckham, the Canterbury coach. Guards being nice and aggressive in the backcourt. Belcher having trouble getting the ball in, and man, Harbour are really having trouble passing the ball right now. And so Sella Morris will inbound the ball, undoubtedly to Nanai, who will initiate their offense. This has been a real theme for Canterbury during the match. They really haven't got out in transition at all, but Nanai and Morris have initiated their offense, and another and one play for Canterbury. And you see here, Harbour almost don't know what the call is. They're kind of just standing around. Canterbury straight into a huddle, and Canterbury's now got a 5-point advantage. These Canterbury guards, I mean, due to foul trouble, the 2 Harbour guards had to sit out, and now these Canterbury guards, Sella Morris and Malia Nanai, just running riot over the Harbour defence. And their free throw percentage is really good so far. You know, Canterbury are 9 of 10 from the free throw line. 90% free throw shooting is fantastic at the under 15 girls level. And another turnover from Harbour. And an open shot for Nanai. And there you go, that's what Harbour needs. Kalahifulu just corralling that rebound, really ripping it out of the air. And Belcher, a big pass up to Robertson. And McIntyre with the foul. She's protesting her innocence, but the foul is the call there on McIntyre, and number 14, Leilani Robertson, will go to the line for North Harbour. Now Harbour now have put Emmy Shearer, number 11, back in the game. 2 minutes 20 left in the first quarter. She's on 2 fouls. That really speaks probably to Harbour's depth as number 13, Sontaine Noom-Duckworth, comes off. They need their 2 superstar guards, and number 25 wide open there. Really lack of talk by Canterbury defensively as Jazz Kalai-Fulu gets wide open for a layup. Harbour needed that, breaks their scoring drought, gets them back within 4. See a significantly higher scoring game. As you see Harbour out in transition, I mean, even they're big. Jazz Kalai-Fulu with a great move there, just steals the ball coast to coast with a Euro step move, out sprints all the guards, and that is some talent right there. We saw Dominic Stevens and Emily Poole in that last semi-final, but Jazz Kalai-Fulu, another big who you're going to have to remember her name. As we see Emmy Shearer, her impact on the game immediately, you can tell. She rips down a defensive rebound, makes sure they initiate their half-court offense. Easy pass to the point guard, dump it down to Jazz Kalai-Fulu, gets around McIntyre with ease and a layup. And so a great coaching decision by Coach Nathan there to put Emmy Shearer back in the game. And you just got to really hope that she doesn't get her 3rd foul, because a decision that pays off in the first quarter, you might be led to pay for in the 4th quarter. And so Shearer will bring the ball up now for Harbour. And they need Morsel Shearer on the floor, and Shearer turns it over, and she can't afford to foul, so Scylla Morris gets an open layup, and that's stuff they need to look to afford. And you can see right now Shearer just passes straight to their big Kalai-Fulu, and that's a really poor turnover, and the Harbour players are walking right now in transition defense. And that's a real bad sign for North Harbour if they're going to turn it over and not play any transition defense. I mean, transition is North Harbour's game offensively, and they're going to allow Canterbury to take their strength from them. They could be having a rough time for the rest of the game, as we see Abercrombie and Godinez into the game again for Canterbury, and Scylla Morris will get a well-earned rest with 31 seconds left in the first. And you would think she'll only sit down for that 36 seconds and plus the minute break for quarter time, and she'll be back on. And we see Noel sit down, probably the same tactic, McIntyre sit down. The Canterbury coach, Peckham, really with some good rotations here, making sure her players are well rested, not just playing 40 minutes a game. As we see Boucher at the line right now. And the second free throw managed to go, so 5-point game with 30 seconds left in the first quarter. As we see Godinez bring the ball up the floor to Nanai. And Harbour really sagging off in man defense, really packing the key and daring Canterbury to beat them on the perimeter. And while that is Canterbury's strength, as we see Godinez put up a 3, it's tough to see any team be consistent enough from the perimeter that they beat you from there. And we see Kalai-Fulu to Shearer. And Shearer, again, just easy as you like. Shearer just drives right through the paint. No one can stop her. And that is quarter time, 26-23, an exceptionally high scoring first quarter from this girls' second semi-final at Under 15 Nationals. This game being brought to you by broadcast partners Intech. It's live streamed on the New Zealand Herald, and we're here in Wellington at the ASB Stadium. It's a real great facilities. Lots of courts going right now as we focus on this girls' semi-final. See what adjustments will be made. You'll probably look for Coach Anita Peckham to find a way to stop Harbour's guards when they're on the court. You know, Shearer, even though she's on 2 fouls, I mean, right in transition, she's just doesn't even need to play half-court offense. She's going to drive right to the rack, and Canterbury haven't found an answer to stop her. And they're going to need to find a way to stop the rebounding and inside presence of the Kalai-Fulu sisters that Harbour have. And Harbour's probably need to find a way to make sure that they turn the ball over less. And just those effort plays that make all the difference in national semi-finals and finals, sprinting and transition defense and diving on the floor and chasing rebounds hard. They can't just rely on their superstars to do all the work for them. Those other supporting players are really going to have to step up in the second quarter. So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments the coaches will make. And we're back for the second quarter. Stella Morris back in the game. And Nanai's going to initiate their half-court offense again. Jess Moores, number 12, back in the game on 2 fouls for Harbour, along with Emmy Shearer. And it speaks to Harbour's depth, and Jazz Kalahifulu just will not let her pass. Emmy Shearer left wide open, and and she airballs the shot, so Canterbury luck out, but Canterbury need to do better defense than that. Oh, and the shot was blocked, so Harbour ball. Canterbury's going to need to do a good job identifying Harbour's best players and shutting them down. And that's a real defensive breakdown from Canterbury. Jess Moores just gets wide open on the inbound play, and you would hope that Canterbury scouted that inbound play and would know that that's coming. Perhaps the players didn't communicate on those screens, but they can't afford to let Moores and Shearer get wide open like that. Kalahifulu again just challenging and changing shots, and we see Mia Abercrombie travel. And so Harbour, when they've got their three superstar players on, Emmy Shearer, Jess Moores, and Jazz Kalahifulu, they look so dangerous. Again, in transition, Jess Moores to Kalahifulu, offensive rebounds, and that's the recipe to Harbour success right there. Emmy Shearer, keep the ball in transition rather than get a half-court offense. Jess Moores on a drive. If it's not there for her, don't worry about it. Jazz Kalahifulu will clean that up. And she must already have a whole lot of rebounds. And with that free throw miss, we see Jazz on 6 rebounds already in the game. So some huge performances again from the bigs in the other game with 20 rebounds, 18 rebounds. And it looks like Harbour's dominant big, who they really can't afford to take off the floor. Jazz Kalahifulu is on track for another big game like that. Canterbury running a half-court offense now. Godinay tried to pass to Nanai. Jess Moores. Again, Canterbury needs to do a good job scouting here, because Emmy Shearer in transition, that is a gorgeous move, and Canterbury really don't seem to have an answer here for Emmy Shearer, Jess Moores in transition. They need to do a good job identifying where those two are defensively as well. They're very athletic and long. And you see Emmy Shearer even challenging a shot there. You see her length. And she is a big guard. She's significantly bigger than Stella Morris and Nanai. And again, Harbour don't need to run a half-court offense. They just pass the ball to Emmy Shearer. Everyone else get out the way. And Canterbury's forced to call a timeout. In less than 2 minutes, Harbour opened the second quarter on an 8-0 run. And that's what we saw to start the game when Kalahifulu, Jess Moores, and Shearer were all out on court. And Canterbury is going to have to find a way to stop those girls. Really, the only other way they've been stopped so far this game is by the whistle with the foul calls. And they are still on 2 fouls, though, with 8 minutes left in the first half. And we're back with Scylla Morris bringing the ball up right now for Canterbury. And they're in their half-court offense. Harbour looking to really pack the key in. See, Jess Moore's really playing a little bit of a denial defense, forcing the ball to go away from Scylla Morris. Nanai. And Nanai gets open, though, puts up a shot. That's a long two, but great shot there from Nanai. And Shearer just full court pass to Jess Moores. Jess Moore's in transition. She misses it. This is where Canterbury might look to get a bit of an advantage. And I mean, they missed that transition layup, but and both teams are really playing out in transition right now, and that is way too easy for Canterbury to give up. Shearer to Moores to Kalahifulu, and I think I'm going to be saying that a lot. Both teams' transition defense is almost non-existent. Both players really jogging back in transition for both teams. And ref has called a charging foul just then on Scylla Morris as she tries to get through the paint, and Coach Peckham is beside herself with that call. McIntyre comes back into the game for Canterbury for Abercrombie now. And Shearer to Moores, back to Shearer. And Boucher gets a touch of the ball, but back to Shearer straight away. Kalahifulu sets a screen on no one, but Canterbury's, and that's probably more a statement on Canterbury's defense, there was no one there, and she just rolled into a space next to the hoop for a layup. And Nanai just out of the way, says out of the way to Boucher and gets a layup. And Shearer with the ball again to Moores, back to Shearer. And Kalahifulu with a screen. And Shearer with a nice hard drive and banks it in. That is such a tough shot. And that just speaks to her talent. I mean, Canterbury just needs to find a way to shut these superstars down. It's much easier said than done. I mean, on most possessions, Moore, Shearer and Kalahifulu are the only players to touch the ball. Strong drive there from Knowles, but bit of contact, but not enough to be a foul. And Kalahifulu corrals that rebound. Strong one-handed cross-court pass from Shearer. And these girls are just, these two guards, Moores and Shearer, are just much bigger than, they're almost the size of Canterbury's bigs. And they have the speed, athleticism, and ball handling ability of all of the best guards here. And Shearer just with another hard drive to the rim and another two shots for North Harbour. North Harbour firmly in control of this semi-final, really going to set up a championship game rematch with the Waikato girls. See Nanai on Moores there, off to Scylla Morris, and Scylla Morris the jump shot, and that's way off. But McIntyre with the rebound on Kalahifulu. You see Kalahifulu, she's not blocking the shot, but she's really changing it, using her length, feet firmly in place. Shearer in transition again. Man, Canterbury really have zero answers for Harbour in transition right now, and that may just be the story of the game. Harbour already with a double-digit lead. And the Kalahifulu sisters are really exposing Canterbury's lack of inside presence. McIntyre just struggles to get anywhere on that and forces up a bad shot. And Shearer just flicks, perhaps an ill-advised pass, but almost full court to Kalahifulu. And Jazz Kalahifulu just gets a layup out of that, and it's way too easy for North Harbour out there right now. And the momentum is all Harbour's way right now. Canterbury bench is just very silent, very still. Body language really says it all. And Canterbury's just having trouble running anything right now, not really getting any good shots. Really be hard-pressed to say they're getting the shots they want. And I don't know if I want to predict this possession, but I'm going to say Shearer to Moores to Kalahifulu for a basket, because that's almost every Harbour possession. Boucher gets a touch of the ball here, but Shearer to Moores to Kalahifulu. She's gone back to Shearer. Into the younger Kalahi sister. But you know what? The miss almost doesn't matter, as Harbour almost corrals that rebound, but it is Canterbury ball. Canterbury ball really sticking in Nanai and Morris's hands there, already down to 7 on the shot clock. And they're forced to put up a long 2 from Knowles then, and Kalahifulu just grabs that rebound and just biffs a pass up the court. And Boucher, it's almost as if she didn't know how strong Kalahifulu was. Wasn't up to collecting that. And we're seeing Morris again bring the ball up. Pass across to Hollings, and that's a risky pass, but right inside, and a great little spin move in the key, and Nanai with a good basket. Breaks the scoring drought for Canterbury. Puts them back within 10. And Harbour's calling a timeout here. Perhaps just wanting to go on the cool. Maybe they've seen something they want to change up. But and let's look at some of the key performance here. Number 11, Emmy Shearer. 5 of 7 shooting, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 15 points. Jess Moores, 4 of 5 shooting, 8 points. And Jazz Kalahifulu, 7 of 9 shooting, 14 points, 9 rebounds. Harbour at the moment, as a team, shooting 18 of 27, 67%. And it's really easy to see why, when a lot of their shots are just layups. Transition layups or O boards from Jazz Kalahifulu putting it back in. Canterbury, on the other hand, right now, Nanai's already got 16 points and Morris already has 9 points. So those two guards combining for 24 of Canterbury's 32 points. Meanwhile, the North Harbour superstars combining for 37 of Harbour's 42 points. And that's huge right there. So you'd have to say whichever team's going to take out the other team's stars first is going to win this game. And right now, Canterbury just doesn't have an answer for the superstars of North Harbour. We see Bouch with the ball now and right inside to Kalahifulu. Canterbury, great help defense. They're 3 on her and they force up a tough shot, but offensive rebounding being the problem of the day. Jazz Kalahifulu gets one. Emmy Shearer gets one. Emmy Shearer gets another O board. Fortunately, nothing goes for them, but if they keep offensive rebounding at that rate, Canterbury's going to have real trouble. Nanai tries to squeeze through a gap, but to no avail. Boucher with a really risky pass there, but Canterbury get the ball back out of that. Looking for Morris. Can't find her, so they find Nanai Williams driving on Boucher. Kalahifulu just get out. Just a brick wall in there will not let anyone pass, and Canterbury's having a tough time getting shots at the key. Harbour in transition, Moores to Kalahifulu. Tough pass from the younger Kalahifulu there, but you know, Jess Moores and Emmy Shearer in transition are just the best in the nation at it. Big and athletic guards. They just get up the court really fast on you, and these Canterbury players are just really struggling to keep up with them. It's really hard to see what the answer is. As Kalahifulu, yep, there's a charge foul on Kalahifulu. She just turned right into the Canterbury guard. Great help side defense, and that's what you want to see if you're Coach Peckham for Canterbury. You want to see your players putting their body on the line, and that is a much smaller girl that just took a charge from Jazz Kalahifulu, and I don't envy her. Tough drive. And Jazz Kalahifulu is just everywhere right now, but Canterbury does a great job passing around her, and Nanai with a really important basket just then to put them back with an 8. Emi Shearer again just right through the key, and she doesn't care who's in front of her, she's just going hard. And unfortunately for Scylla Morris, she's not in front, she's not chest to chest, and that'll be a blocking foul on her for not being in great defensive position. See here, number 10, Amy Johnson, coming into the game for the first time for Harbour, is Jazz Kalahifulu up 8, 2 minutes left in the second quarter, gets a well-deserved rest. She's played all 18 minutes. And so they're really going to rely on number 14, Leilani Robertson, and number 10, Amy Johnson, to get a lot of rebounds here. Nets the second, and that makes it a 9-point game. Canterbury again, they're having real trouble running their offense right now. It's just, and I mean, there you go. Knowles gets an and one play, but right now Canterbury just running passing offense, and their players are just driving 1-on-5. They're not a lot of movement, not a lot of cutting. And Canterbury really going to have to do something to rectify that, because I'm sure they have offense, and I've seen them play their other games. They have pool games against Waitaki. They had a really nice looking motion offense, but Harbour's obviously doing something right to disrupt that offense. Obviously Shearer to Moores, and that's the end of the story right there. And if they miss, Moores gets it back up, and that's a layup for Moores. Canterbury really struggling to contain Shearer and Moores in transition and on the boards. But there you go, Nanai, easy as you like, right through the key. Easy left-hand layup for her, as we see Moores dribbling up the floor against Nanai right now. Shearer getting marked heavily by number 8 from Canterbury, and Amy Johnson with an easy basket. Perhaps a defensive breakdown from Canterbury there, but it's back out to an 8-point game. Nanai back to Morris. Morris going to drive hard on Barnard, and she puts that in, and now it's back to a 6-point game. And Canterbury really going to want to string a stop and a score together here to make it closer. We would almost say closer than it deserves right now. North Harbour, you know, they're not doing anything special, but they're really doing the things they want to do, which is get out and run and rebound the ball. And they really managed to get Canterbury out of their game. But right now we're seeing probably North Harbour's weakness. Their players really don't sprint in transition defence. And that's a great spin move from Morris just then. And if Canterbury can get out and run on the North Harbour guards as they don't sprint back on defence, then that'll be where they look to get a lot of their baskets. And Harbour definitely look not as polished in the half court as they do in transition. See Shearer just with another really tough drive. I mean, these aren't easy shots to put up at all, but she's definitely got the license to do it. We have a few seconds left. Nanai on a drive, and that'll be half-time. So half-time we see North Harbour 43, North Harbour 47, Canterbury 43. And this is great tournament being put on by the Wellington Basketball Association here at the ASB Stadium, and really great to have this live streaming coverage brought to you by NTEC and live streamed on the NZ Herald website. Earlier we saw the Waikato girls get to the national final against the Taranaki girls in that semi-final. And for other results, you can go to the Basketball New Zealand website, basketball.org.nz. And for up-to-date results, tournament information and photos, just check out the Basketball New Zealand Facebook page. Follow on Twitter at BasketballNZ, and tag us in your posts with the hashtag under15nats. And we'll be right back for the second half in 5 minutes.
World Masters Games coming to New Zealand next year for basketball, and it's just a huge event and opportunity for those ex-athletes, friends and family to be involved.
The World Masters Games being hosted here in New Zealand is huge, with all the ex-NBA players and EuroLeague players and internationals. It's something we're really looking forward to.
The roles of the officials are going to be crucial to the success of this event.
Without them, the event can't take place, so we're heavily relying on them.
You're definitely going to see me down on the court in 2017.
This is the biggest sporting event to hit Auckland shores. Referees, score bench officials and volunteers, we need you. Now is the perfect time to get involved in our sport and continue to build towards 2017 and the World Masters Games. Hope to see you all in April.
And welcome back. We're here at the 2016 Under-15 National Championships here in Wellington. The second half coming up of the women's semi-final between Harbour A and Canterbury. We're really locked in a close game here. Harbour looked like they'd seized control, but some transitional layups from Canterbury, and the game is back to 47-43 right now as we see Harbour start out in their half-court set. Moores to Shearer, down to Kalahifulu. And that's been the recipe all game long, where Kalahifulu is fouled. And that foul is on number 8 for Canterbury, Hannah Manalese. Harbour running their inbound play that they've used successfully before, having a bit of trouble getting it in, and they turn it over off that inbound play. And see Nanai streaking up the floor right now. Oh, that's a really easy drive. It's a really nice drive there from Molly Coburn, but unfortunately misses that layup. Yeah, interesting lineup from Canterbury to start the second half. Of course, they start with Nanai and Morris, their superstar guards, as we see one of Harbour's superstars, Kalahifulu, collect an and one play just then. And really seeing more of the same out of halftime. Players players that are making the big impact, still making the big impact for them, as Kalahifulu misses that free throw, but Jess Moores with the huge rebound. Misses that, but Emmy Shearer with a rebound, and then they put that one in. And again, that's really been how it's been going all game long for North Harbour. One of Kalahifulu, Moores or Shearer will score. If they don't, one of them will get the O board, and then one of them will put it in. A travel on Nanai just then for Canterbury. An interesting lineup, a lot of bench players for Canterbury, and Cillum Morris coming off now, so it's an interesting call, perhaps a bit of an injury or something there. But start of the second half so key right now. I mean, if Canterbury can start off the second half strong, they will be back locked in a tight game. As we see Emmy Shearer just take it right to the rack, and McIntyre with the foul. Again, protesting her innocence, but she looks to collect Shearer on the arm just then, and she'll go to the line for 2 shots. If North Harbour, though, can start the second half the strongest, again, just like we saw in the other semi-final where Waikato had the ascendancy and then they started the second half the strongest, we could put this game away in the third quarter and see a rematch of last year's national final. As Emmy Shearer knocks down, she misses it, sorry, and she has Harbour have a 9-point advantage right now. So Canterbury really got to need to look for a score out of this. And Nanai with the handoff to Godinay. Godinay strong drive, but good decision. Harbour's help defense is really swarming, and Nanai with a tough shot. Nanalese with a tough shot over the outstretched arms of Kalahifulu. And her impact really can't be unspoken at this point. You know, even when she's not rebounding, she's causing tough shots. Even when she's not blocking, she's altering shots. And on top of her 14 points and already 9 rebounds this game, her impact, you can really tell how high it is. And we see Moores to Shearer to Kalahifulu, and it's a basket for Kalahifulu. And it's a real statement of how dominant these 3 players are when all the time on Harbour's possessions, only 3 players touch the ball. And we see here Shearer with a tough pass, and Nanai gets the ball back, and a little step through move, but the younger Kalahifulu does a good job challenging that before Hannah Nanalese manages to get a layup out of that. And we see Moores with the ball right now, back to Shearer. Kalahifulu just camping out on the key, and that's a tough pass, and it's tough to have a post-entry pass when the post player has been in the key for so long. But Canterbury look to get something going here. So Nanai's on the floor looking to initiate their offense. And Canterbury really need to get better shots than that. It's one pass and then a mid-range shot. See Moore's just a full court pass to Kalahifulu. That's a fantastic Euro step move from a player her size, and Shearer with an O board and puts it in. Again, you really have to appreciate how good these 3 Harbour players are. When you can play at this level and only have 3 players touch the ball on every offensive possession, basically play 3-on-5, and it actually gets results for you. You see Boucher with the ball there, and that's a turnover. And Canterbury, this is where they need a score in transition. You know, we see Kalahifulu and Moores really just jogging in transition. And Canterbury get an O board there. And it's really important right now that Canterbury stay in touch. And the interesting thing for Canterbury is that their bench is just still quite silent, and Moores is really way too easy. It's a real easy layup. And Harbour are just really good when they're in their primary break or their secondary break, which just means when they're not in their transition offense and they're early in the shot clock, they are just really good. They're athletic guards, and even Jazz Kalahifulu, as we see Canterbury score there, even Jazz Kalahifulu, really athletic and agile for a big. And Moore is so strong, even though she was getting challenged, she didn't even seem to realise it. The Canterbury player just bounced right off her. Gets back up though, which is good to see. And it will be North Harbour ball on the baseline, and Canterbury have called a timeout. So we're 6 minutes 21 to go in the third. Harbour are up 58-51. And Canterbury really playing some okay basketball, really staying in this game, keeping it in single digits, but they're really struggling to contain the combo of 25 Jazz Kalahifulu, 11 Emmy Shearer, and 12 Jess Moores. We'll have to see what adjustments Coach Peckham can make out of this timeout to see what guards, especially guards Nanai and Scylla Morris, who have scored the majority of their points, see what they can produce out of this, maybe get some better shots for them. It's going to be North Harbour ball on the baseline as we start here. So Shearer has the ball to start with. And Shearer, she just drove on 5 players. And Canterbury just straight out of that timeout, that has to be disheartening. It seems like whatever they're throwing at them, Shearer can just turn the corner and get right into their key. And she's either going to get a layup or get fouled. And right now, Shearer is 7 of 10 from the free throw line as she misses that one. So 7 of 11. But she is shooting a good percentage from the free throw line. She misses both there. And that's a lucky break for Canterbury, but they really need to find a way to stop her. We see Nanai, another excellent guard for Canterbury. They're up against Moores. Great help from Boucher there as Nanai spun into her, and Knowles with that mid-range jump shot. Great hustle from Canterbury, and that's got to be heartening, getting players on the floor, especially against bigger players like Jazz Kalahifulu. And that's going to be what gets Canterbury into this game. It's not going to be anything X's and O's. It's just going to be how much do they want it, how much are they getting on the floor for the ball. And we see a play off the ball there, a collision, and Jazz Kalahifulu will be charged with the foul. It's unlucky, but she wasn't in a great position there, and there was a collision, and she really put number 12, Georgia Knowles, on her backside there on the floor. And I have to feel for Georgia Knowles, because that is not a great feeling to be biffed to the ground by someone much, much bigger than you. And we see Jazz Kalahifulu come to the bench now. That'll be her 3rd foul. And we're 6 minutes left, and Harbour with a sizable advantage. They've got Shearer and Moores on the floor. They can afford to do that. We see Jess Moores with some great defense there, and Shearer almost with an interception. We say Manalese with the ball at the top here. Tough shot, almost rattles in. Harbour having trouble control it here, but Moores ends up with it. Moores off to Shearer. And Shearer back to Moores. Moores puts it inside to the younger Kalahifulu sister. And that's just a really strong move there. In Canterbury right now. Godinay bringing it up. Godinay just a pull-up 3 in transition, and she makes it, and the Canterbury crowd loves it. And that's the sort of play they need to get their team going. They need and their bench is up now. Their bench is ready to go. They're playing some hard defense now, and this could be a momentum changer. Just a play like that. Harbour get it inside to Kalahifulu, and she's surrounded by 3 players. Goes anyway. Canterbury get on the floor for it. Jump ball. And that's a really great passage of play from the Canterbury girls. As we see Scylla Morris come back into the game now for Manalese. And so Canterbury have got a really strong lineup on the floor. So their starting lineup. And they're only down 6. And they need to keep Harbour off the boards, and unfortunately for them, out of bounds then, as they almost got a defensive rebound. And they're just going to need to play hard defense with 14 seconds left on the shot clock, Harbour ball. Harbour's maintained a comfortable 6 to 12 point lead throughout the second half. And again, Harbour off their baseline inbounds play, freeing up Jess Moores, and Canterbury just hasn't had an answer for that whenever Harbour's had a baseline inbounds play. And Moores fouled on that possession, so she'll go to the line. This will be the first time Moores goes to the line this game. And she makes the first. She misses the second, so 1 of 2 at the line so far for her, but turns around, plays great transition defense to quell Canterbury's fast break. They get into their offense now. Nanai just really directing traffic. Again, Canterbury want to get away from the stagnant offense as much as they can. Nanai with a good drive. Shearer with great help defense, so perhaps a tough shot there. And Shearer flings it up court to Boucher, to Moores. Moores with a mid-range jump shot in transition, and she makes it. That's an excellent basket from Moores. And it may not be the shot selection Harbour's after, but it's gone through the hoop and it's given them a 9-point advantage. And once again, Canterbury's intensity just died down a little bit after that quick sequence of play where Godinay hit that 3. And Harbour's doing well, even with Jazz Kalahifulu on the bench. And Jazz Kalahifulu with 18 points, 9 rebounds. And so that's a significant contribution to be on the bench. But right now, I mean, nothing's going Canterbury's way. They're down 9 again. Foul count is 6 to 1 against them this quarter. And they must feel hard done by that. And Georgia Knowles, number 12, real foul trouble there. And they're really going to have to rely on number 15, Olivia McIntyre, who's come back into the game now, to do a lot of work for them inside. And her work's cut out for her against the Harbour bigs. Right now, Harbour is out rebounding Canterbury by 16, 37 to 21. And Shearer nails down the second free throw to maintain her good free throw percentage and bring the Harbour lead back to double digits. Canterbury right now a little more motion in their offense. They get a handoff to start the play. Great drive from Nanai. See, Harbour look great when they've got good help side defense. Not that time though. And Nanai will go to the line for 2 shots. And Moores gets that defensive rebound off that missed free throw. Points go begging for Canterbury, but still a 9-point game, and they've got a lot to play for right now. With Nanai up on the ball against Boucher, that's a really tough shot from Boucher over 2 people. And Scylla Morris, and those 2 guards for Canterbury just doing everything for them right now. As you see Morris get a rebound, Nanai initiate their offense, and Harbour's really sagging off, really daring them to score from the outside. And Scylla Morris and Nanai Williams really want to drive. Nice spin from Morris. Good help side D. Unlucky for that to rim out. Moore's on the fast break to Boucher. And it'll be out of bounds. So Canterbury will have the ball again. Still down 9, 64-55. And this is the same sort of style of game we saw in the first semi-final between Waikato and Taranaki, where Waikato managed to just maintain the ascendancy the whole time. And right now, Canterbury hasn't really got within 6. 6 is the closest they've been this quarter, and a bit of a defensive breakdown from Harbour then, as they gave up almost an open layup, and then they did give up an open layup to Mia Abercrombie to pull Canterbury back within 7. And Shearer looks to initiate their offense now for North Harbour. And it's off to Leilani Robertson, who's been introduced into the game again. And inside to the younger Kalaifu, and she's surrounded by people. And McIntyre's hit the ground and she's staying down. Hopefully she's all right. And Canterbury, they're staying right in this game, and with how close it is, if they start to take away the drives of Shearer and Moores, they could really take the lead in this game. But right now, Shearer and Moores aren't looking to really shoot the ball all that much. They're looking to drive, and if Canterbury can wall them off and keep them out on the perimeter, they might be within a shot here. But Kalahifulu hits that second free throw, and Harbour maintain the ascendancy by 8 points here as Nanai initiates their offense. McIntyre having a tough time fighting through the paint there against Robertson. Another nice spin move by Nanai, and she's fouled by number 11 Shearer there. So far the only thing stopping Shearer and Moores is their foul trouble, and that's Shearer's third foul right there. You would think Coach Millie Nathan for North Harbour will look to keep her in the game given how effective they are, and up 8 right now is an important time in the game. Oh no, they're looking to take her out there. You'd have to assume they're very comfortable in their lead there. Right now they've got Jazz Kalahifulu, who's on 18 points, 9 rebounds, and Emmy Shearer, who's amassed 23 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists so far this game. And they've got both of them on the bench right now, so Harbour must be very comfortable in their game plan. And you see Barnard gets free for an open jump shot there, airballs it, so Canterbury off the hook. And Canterbury has to sense some blood here in the water, as Harbour have a lot of their bench players on right now. If they can't go on a run here, it'd be very disheartening for them. You see Nanai just right through the lane, picks up a foul as well. Unfortunately doesn't make that and one play, but it's a really great play from Nanai. Just sees the open lane, and she's right in there. And that's the second foul on Simone Barnard for North Harbour. Oh, that unfortunately Nanai their free throws roll out just then. Canterbury still shooting over 75% from the free throw line this game. Really great to see in under 15 girls basketball. Nanai misses both there. That's a tough break for Canterbury, as we see Moores fumble the ball in the backcourt. But again, these Harbour guards are so strong. She just lifts it right up to halfway over her shoulder, and Harbour get it over halfway. Only 12 left on the shot clock now, as we see Boucher in the corner, gets it to the younger Kalahifulu, and Canterbury asking for a foul there as Zalia Kalahifulu just rips Olivia McIntyre to the ground. But the refs have a foul on McIntyre first, so she'll go to the free throw line there, and McIntyre asking questions of the referee. But unfortunately for her, that's a foul, and Zalia Kalahifulu goes to the free throw line. And misses that shot there, and there's some reaching fouls as McIntyre's trying to get a rebound, and they're just hitting her arms there, and that foul will go on 15, Zalia Kalahifulu. And that's a rough foul for North Harbour there in the bonus, and Canterbury, unlike their last set of free throws, they're going to have to look to convert these. And if they do convert both of these free throws, they'll get the game to within 5, and that'll be the closest margin it's been since half-time. Nice shot from McIntyre. Unfortunately, she misses that second free throw, but the game is within 6, and that's the closest it's been since halftime as well. We had a 6-point game earlier this quarter. Canterbury just won't go away. They won't stop fighting, and a great trap there from Godinay and Nanai, and Boucher steps out of bounds. Boucher, of course, a really recognisable last name in New Zealand basketball, and she is the child of New Zealand basketball legend Dylan Boucher. Some other notable names out there, you know, you see Scylla Morris for Canterbury, number 7, and her older sibling Izzy Morris was in the Canterbury under-17 team last week. As we see Moores just corral another row board and put Harbour back up 8. Jess Moores, another familiar last name. James Moores, her older brother, won MVP at the under-17 national championships last week in Auckland. Swarming defense from Harbour. 3 players surrounding Hollings when she gets it there. But that leaves the lane wide open for Morris, and unfortunately she can't convert. As Moores streaks up the floor now in the fast break. She's past 2. And Canterbury, and there's a key for Canterbury. They did a really great job then stopping the transition offense of Harbour. And now Harbour's in that half-court set. Moores gets it into Robertson. Robertson can't get anything going. It's out to Boucher. 3 seconds left on the shot clock, but she turns it over. And Canterbury's out and running. Nanai's layup rims out. But Godinay managed to put that layup in. And that counts right on the buzzer. 67-61 to Harbour at 3/4 time. Now Harbour's done really well with Jazz Kalahifulu and Emmy Shearer on the bench for quite a while there at the end of the third, both on 3 fouls. And I'm sure they'll come back at the start of the 4th. And they'll be fresh and ready to go against Canterbury's players. And I mean, this is the last quarter of a national semi-final right now, and Canterbury needs to look to find some answers. Canterbury needs to find a way to stop Shearer and Moores on the fast break, and they've done a great job of it in that 3rd quarter. With Shearer coming back now into the game, we have to see if they can maintain that effectiveness. And with Jazz Kalahifulu coming back into the game for North Harbour, we have to see if they can maintain some ability to battle on the rebounds for them. North Harbour really got to have good transition defense. You know, we saw Canterbury get out and run, and that's what got them within 6 at the end of that quarter there. And really got to look to keep Canterbury in that stagnant offense as much as they can. Canterbury look really good when they've got a motion offense, and they get some open lanes to drive in with their guards. And that'll be what they're looking for the rest of the match, Canterbury. So it'll be interesting to see which team can make the adjustments to come out strong in the 4th quarter and book their place in a national final with the Waikato girls. Back now for the 4th quarter of this national semi-final in the under-15 girls competition. Nano with the ball, she's on Moores and almost travels, but managed to get the ball out to Morris. And it was a long 2. So 67-63. And this is the closest margin we've had since halftime right now. And Canterbury going to have to get up right now. Moores, nice little spin move into a mid-range jumper. And that's what we've seen all game. That's what we've seen all game. It's not necessarily Harbour's offense. It's not even necessarily their players, even though they are dominant. It's their offensive rebounding. Like, even when they miss in the half court, Moores got her own rebound, and then Kalahifulu got her own rebound. So we've got Moores to the line now, and an and one play for her to bring the lead back out. And Moores with an ill-advised foul just then. That'll be her 3rd. So with 9 minutes 20 to go, she's still relatively out of foul trouble. So Harbour's big 3, with 3 personal fouls each. And right now, Canterbury's big 2. Scylla Morris on 2 fouls, and Nanai on 2 fouls as well. Godinay putting up another 3. Misses that, but Nanai gets a strong rebound. Goes up, and a foul call there. And Emmy Shearer cannot believe it. And that is her 4th foul with 9 minutes left. And Harbour's looking to their bench, meaning they'll be without Emmy Shearer for the foreseeable future. There are a lot on the shoulders of number 12, Jessica Moores, and number 25, Jazz Kalahi-Fulu right now. Nanai hits that first free throw, so it's a 4-point game now, and they have the opportunity to make it a 3-point game. Unfortunately, they miss. Get it up the floor to Moores, and she's not interested in running any offense right now. She's going to drive 1-on-4 and make it anyway. Not great defense by Harbour there, but they managed to get away with it a little bit with an air ball shot there as Moores looks to run the half-court offense this time. And a foul call there. So 2 shots coming for Jazz Kalahi-Fulu. As we see number 4, Simone Barnard, coming for Emmy Shearer right now. And Jazz Kalahi-Fulu is beside herself that she missed that first free throw. Second one coming up. Still a 6-point game here. Canterbury's right in touch. They have every chance of getting into the national final. And Kalahi-Fulu nails that free throw, so 71-64, the advantage to Harbour. And they've held the lead since the end of that first quarter. And they're leaving Nanai wide open at the top there, so she takes the open jump shot. A good shot, but she's just missed that shot there, and we see Moores in transition. Moores to Barnard on the perimeter, and she returns the ball to Moores' hands. Really stagnant Harbour offense right now, but and Canterbury does not appreciate that foul call, and really stagnant Harbour offense get it into the younger Kalahi-Fulu sister, and she managed to turn into 2 plays, but managed to draw a foul. She's got 2 free throws here, an 8-point lead right now for North Harbour. Going to be a bit of a blow if she made both of these, but she doesn't. She misses that first free throw, so the game will stay in single digits for now. And Jazz Kalahi-Fulu just out-hustles the Canterbury player for that rebound and puts the ball in off her younger sibling's missed free throw attempt. And the game is out to double digits right now, 74-64. Nano with the ball again, driving right on Barnard, puts it in and brings the game back to 8 points. Canterbury's going to need a stop here. Canterbury's bench cheering. They sense a bit of momentum going their way. Bouch with the ball on the perimeter. Inside to Kalahi-Fulu. She can't quite handle the pass, and it's Canterbury ball. So Canterbury have the ball. Down 8 right now. They're going to want a good shot out of this offense right now. Man, Boucher is way off Nanai, so I'm wondering if that's a scout, because they've been sagging off all game. Moore's way off Morris right now. Boucher way off Nanai. Very little ball pressure, and they're even letting her get an open shot at the top of the free throw line, and Nanai says, hey, I can hit that. And she sure does, and that is now a 6-point game with 7 minutes to go, and this is looking like a really tight game. I mean, for a while it looked like Harbour might run away from it, and a poor pass from Boucher just then, right in the hands of Scylla Morris, and she does not fail to convert on that. 74-70, and Harbour calls a timeout. Canterbury are up, their crowd loves it, their bench loves it, and they have new life. And that's all it is. That's all it is for Canterbury, and they're in a really close game now. 6 minutes 44, a long time for them. And even though she's on 4 fouls, there's disappointment with 6 minutes 44 left in the game, where Harbour looks to reintroduce Emmy Shearer to the game. And we've seen this every time Harbour, one of their big 3 come out, you know, they don't do as well. You know, Emmy Shearer's on 23 points, 8 rebounds and 5 assists. She's really filling up the stat sheet. And to have her off right now really hurts Harbour. We also have Jess Moores on 20 points, 12 rebounds. And we have Jazz Kalai-Fulu, 21 points, 12 rebounds. So those three for Harbour combined for 64 of their 74 points. On the other side for Canterbury, Scylla Morris, 17 points, 5 rebounds. And Nanai, 26 points, 5 rebounds. And so those two right there, they're also combining for a really large chunk of Canterbury's points, 43 of their 70. They have a lot of other contributors though. Knowles has 9 points for them. Godinay has 7 points for them. And so they're really getting work, and even they've got 8 points off the bench. Whereas you compare that to Harbour, Harbour have only got 2 points from their bench this game. So Harbour proving even a team of 3 can really get it done. And a really poor pass from Boucher there. Just threw it into wide open space, and Canterbury really breathing new life as Nanai gets around Kalai-Fulu quite easily. And a foul off the ball there on Zalia Kalai-Fulu. And so Emmy Shearer comes back in the game now. And so Harbour's starting lineup is in the game right now. And right now Canterbury have 4 of their starting lineup in. They also have McIntyre in there for an inside presence. And that's really important for them. And she's done a really great job. I mean, it's a really tough guarding Jazz Kalai-Fulu, but she's done a great job. And Canterbury hustling after those O balls, but Jess Moores manages to get it. Goes through 2, fires a pass off to the younger Kalai-Fulu. Off to Boucher. Shearer with the ball to Moores. Back to Shearer, and they're in a wing on ball now, and a huge screen from Jazz Kalai-Fulu. And look at that, Jazz Kalai-Fulu and Jess Moores on the ground for the ball. Unfortunately a foul, and the foul was on Jazz Kalai-Fulu just then. And that's her 4th foul as well. And a 4-point game, Emmy Shearer and Jazz Kalai-Fulu on 4 fouls. It really is huge, and that could be a turning point of the game. Georgia Knowles was really knocked to the ground there by Jazz Kalai-Fulu's bruising screen, and it was a great screen, and Canterbury just need to talk on that. Harbour's out in transition right now. Emmy Shearer in transition. This is dangerous for Canterbury, and a very predictable finish to that. And Harbour take the 6-point lead back. Canterbury, they're on a run of momentum right now, and they're in danger of letting that go. Nanai, it's not great shot selection there. Spins past Boucher right into Shearer and just forces up a shot. And ref's calling a foul on McIntyre just then. And that's her 4th foul. And so the bigs of both teams in real foul trouble right now. 76-70. Harbour still has the advantage, but it's still a close game. And Canterbury's done really well in this game right now. And if they stops that, another pick and roll, and Emmy Shearer looks to reject that screen, but layup rims out, but Kalai-Fulu gets the rebound. Saves it into Canterbury hands though, and Canterbury in transition, and this is where they've had a good time this game. Great defense, I thought, by Jess Moores, but it's a foul, and Scylla Morris with an and 1, and North Harbour, and this has been their weakness all game, is transition defense. They only had 1 or 2 players back. The rest of their players are jogging, and that's really not good enough, and I'm sure Coach Millie Nathan is demanding more of them right now in transition defense. And that's Jess Moores' 4th foul. So 5 minutes left. The Harbour big 3 all on 4 fouls. And this is the closest game we've had since the first half right now. 76-73. And momentum is surely in Canterbury's field right now. Moores off to Emmy Shearer, but that defense from Canterbury really lacking. Shearer just almost unguarded right into the key with a floater and puts Harbour back up 5. Right now, a foul on Boucher just then, and that's just Nanai being real aggressive. And all of these girls have played really big minutes now. On Canterbury's side, Nanai has played 34 minutes, 51 seconds, almost the entire game. Scylla Morris played 30 minutes right now. Jazz Kalai-Fulu played 27 minutes. Emmy Shearer, she's been down with foul trouble, but she's still played 25 minutes so far. And Jess Moores has played 30 minutes so far. And Harbour's still shooting the ball exceptionally well, 54% from the field. And Jess Moores is 67%, 10 of 15. Jazz Kalahi-Fulu, 10 of 15 also, 67%. And Emmy Shearer is 8 of 13. That's 62%. On the other side, Scylla Morris, 7 of 18 for 20 points. And Nanai, 10 of 26 for 26 points. Great shot there, and Harbour back out to a 7-point advantage. Just trying to, they've wrested a bit of control back from Canterbury right now. And we'll really have to see what Nanai and Scylla Morris have in store for us. Morris open at the top of the three-point line, opts for a long two, hits it. And that's a huge shot. It's a 5-point game right now. Canterbury really staying in touch. The 2 Canterbury superstars and the 3 Harbour superstars really doing work, and we really have to give credit to their performance. And Shearer with a tough drive, gets contact, almost gets an and one, and you just have to admire the way she drives so hard and strong. She accepts no one stopping her. She's either going to get a layup on you or you're going to have to foul her, and she might get that layup in anyway. And an interesting substitution right there. Nanai sitting down. 4 minutes left in the game, and it's now a 6-point game after Shearer hits that free throw. And you'd have to imagine Nanai's going to get straight back into the game. She's one of their key players. 26 points, their leading point scorer. 5 rebounds and 2 assists. Jazz Kalahi-Fulu with a huge rebound and misses that shot. And Zalia Kalahi-Fulu just really knocks Georgia Knowles to the floor. And the Kalahi-Fulu sisters, I don't know what Georgia Knowles did to their family, but they are really beating her up. And Georgia Knowles, to her credit, gets right back up and is ready to go. And because they're in the bonus, Georgia Knowles will walk the length of the floor to take 2 free throws and try and put it back within 4. And she nails the free throw. 4-point game with 4 minutes remaining. And see Shearer just in transition again, driving so hard, makes the basket. Huge shot. Harbour is so pleased with that. The ref's having a bit of a discussion here. Not sure what about, but the ref's having a big discussion at centre court right now. And they've called it. Basket counts, foul on number 5 Canterbury. And that's a huge play. They are now up 6, just under 4 minutes to go, and Shearer will go to the line. And she manages to make that. And Emmy Shearer right now is on 29 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Kalahi-Fulu with a huge block there. McIntyre rips out of Moore's hand. Her layup rims out, and Emmy Shearer gets the rebound now. And Moore's in the fast break to Kalahi-Fulu. Beautiful transition offense, and they're back up 9. And that has to be disheartening for Canterbury. They were right there within 3. And now it's back out to a 9-point game with 3.5 minutes left. Let's see what Scylla Morris can produce. And it's off her leg, and it's Harbour ball. Harbour with the ball. 3.5 minutes to go. Up 9. And it's now an 11-point game. And with 3 minutes left, Canterbury are going to have to produce something right now. Otherwise, we're going to see a rematch of last year's under-15 girls final. Waikato girls versus North Harbour girls. There'll be some really interesting matchups in that game as well. Dominique Stevens against Jazz Kalahi-Fulu, the 2 best bigs in this tournament. I mean, that's going to be a matchup. Waikato's excellent guard, Walker Ekitoni, against Shearer and Moores is going to be a great matchup in the backcourt as well. Walker Ekitoni probably hasn't had guards the size of Moores and Shearer guard her before. And Boucher Boucher with a really nice floater just then. And she's contributing as well, and she's put the game back out to 11 points, just over 2 minutes left. Scylla Morris with a long shot, unfortunately just ricochets off the backboard. Shearer asking for the foul, but the ref will give her the ball out of bounds. So Boucher brings the ball over halfway to initiate offense for North Harbour. Reverses the ball to Shearer. Shearer looking for a drive, but Scylla Morris, some contact but no foul call, does a great job stopping her. Moores gets it inside to Kalahifu, just too good, too strong. And she'll go to the line for 2. And right now, if you're coaching Nita Peckham, just under 2 minutes left, you're down 11. And I believe Georgia Knowles, number 12 for Canterbury, has just been fouled out of the game with that foul on Jazz Kalahi-Fulu. So we saw, I believe it was 18 points, 20 rebounds for Dominique Stevens for Waikato in that last game. We see Jazz Kalahi-Fulu right now. She's on 23 points, 14 rebounds. And that's just a dominant performance from these bigs. She misses that free throw, but Moores gets the rebound, and Canterbury, you'd think they'll show more fight than that with 12 points down, 2 minutes to go in a national semi-final. And there's Moores, passes up the shot for the drive. Gets right in, but rims out. McIntyre with a great rebound. Nanai getting up the floor, going past Boucher, and she's fouled. So they're in the bonus, Harbour, so she'll go to the line for 2 shots just then. A foul on Mackenzie Boucher for North Harbour. So Nanai, she hits both, will make it a 10-point game with 90 seconds left. And Canterbury, they're just really going to have to do something special to get back into this game right now. It's not through lack of effort or trying, but 90 seconds left. It's an 11-point game right now. They've got to go full desperation mode if they want to get to the national final against Waikato. Emi Shearer picks up her dribble, but off to the younger Kalahi-Fulu sister. Those Harbour starters have played big minutes, all of them now over 30 minutes. And Jazz Kalahi-Fulu just knocks McIntyre to the ground, no call, and just puts an easy layup up. And that puts Harbour up 13 with 1 minute 15 left. And Harbour, no interest in fouling in this late stage, gives up a layup, still up 11. Boucher fires a pass up court to Kalahi-Fulu. She's trapped, but a foul call there on Mia Abercrombie. And Canterbury's also in the bonus, so she'll go to the line for 2 shots. Up 11 with 1 minute left. She misses the second, and it's Harbour ball. Looked like it was off Moores. Oh, and her ref partner has corrected her. It was off Moores. Canterbury ball. 1 minute 2 left. They're down 11. Is there anything they can produce right here? At this stage, you're probably shooting 3-point shots, and I mean Harbour's still sagging right off, leaving them wide open on the 3-point line. But Scylla Morris still driving right into the key, right on top of Jazz Kalahi-Fulu. A foul's called, and that's on Jazz Kalahi-Fulu, and that'll be the end of her night. And she will finish on 26 points and 14 rebounds. A strong night from her. And number 14, Leilani Robertson, will come into the game for her. And it really looks like North Harbour are going to get to the final against Waikato in a rematch of the 2015 final. I'd like to thank broadcast partners Entech for this live streaming on the New Zealand Herald. at this fabulous tournament hosted by the Wellington Basketball Association. And for other results of the other quarterfinals, semi-finals and placing games, go to the New Zealand Basketball website, basketball.org.nz. And for up-to-date results, tournament information and photos, make sure you check out the Basketball New Zealand Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter at Basketball New Zealand. Tag us in your posts with the hashtag under 15 nationals. And Shearer gets a rebound. We see the last 30 seconds of the game round out now. And that'll do it. It's a 10-point game, 20 seconds left. And North Harbour versus Waikato is who we'll see here. And we'll leave you now as this game goes. And we'll see the boys' semi-finals next. First up, Harbour v Palmerston North.
Do what we do, we try to do it with intensity, and that takes care of itself.